Hey guys, welcome back. Um, we're here working away on the 92 notch, and today what we've been working on is putting the LMR disc brake conversion kit in, and we started with the rears because the fronts, when we got the car, already had spindles and everything on them. So putting the Cobra rotors and calipers on is really not a big deal. But doing the rears, actually, that is a lot of work. So, we've swapped out the drums, and the interesting thing about this car is that it actually came with 5 lug axles on, but it also had drums on the back that were 5 lug. I've never seen that before. I mean, I don't really understand why you would, kind of go through the work. Not that it's really hard to swap out axles, because it's not. But I mean, if you're going to drain your diff, drain your axle, do everything, maybe put a gear in the back or just, clean it up. Why not put the disc brake conversion kit in? I don't know, but that's why we're doing it now. So we're only about, part way through. What we've done is we've pulled out the rotors, we pulled the axles out, we cleaned everything up. Note to other guys that are out there, LMR does not include, at least what was shipped to me, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but they don't include new bearings and seals for the axle. Why? LMR, really? Why? Guys, you always come through. That seems weird. Maybe you forgot to put it in the box, and if you did, hey, that's cool. But, for 50 bucks, we went down and got one for, driver passenger side, cleaned everything out, get it done right, put the new bearings in and the new seals, and then after that, carry on as per usual. So we're getting ready to put the calipers on. But as you can see, let me just move some of this stuff here and I'll get underneath. Pardon the lighting here, guys. But you can see that we've run the new brake lines. Okay. So we've got those running in. We've got those hooked up. You do have to play with them a little bit. You got to bend them a little bit, just adjust them, get them to, where they're not interfering with the upper control arms. Or getting in the way of the rear diff cover. So we did that. That's done. And now we're going to work on getting the the calipers on, and then we'll move over to the driver's side. We'll do that, and then we'll lower her down, get the axle back up, reconnect the rear shocks, and guys, this is a great time when you're doing something like this. If you want to like paint or clean up your axle, it's a great time to do it. You could clean it down. You don't necessarily have to take it all out and everything else. You can clean it up. Eastwood Company actually has a killer product, which prevents any kind of rust or anything like that. Brush it on. You could also spray it on, and have a nice, clean, shiny, black axle that looks, fresh and new and dialed in. Now's the great time to do that. Also, ideally, probably a good time to swap out your shocks and springs. If you don't really want to use them, you don't. I mean, guys, if you want to take these out, they literally will pop right out. These are loose, okay? It takes nothing to take these springs out. It's so easy. So if you're doing a job like this, consider taking the extra step and doing some suspension work. I mean, it's well worth it. A set of, it's really your choice. If you want to go wild, you could go Bilsteins. But, I've always pretty much used like KYBs and stuff like that in my Foxes, with the exception of the Detch, which has a coilover setup in it. And I've never had a problem with it, guys. So, I love it. I've got Foxes of both, setups. We've got shocks and springs, and we've got coilovers. So, they're all cool and they're all great in their own way. So, anyway, we're going to keep on plugging away with this, start getting some more stuff put on, and we'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're working on finishing up the four-wheel disc brake conversion on the 92 notch. Haven't come up with a name for this notch yet, so feel free to put a comment down with some ideas. Maybe the owner will have a couple of interesting ideas for it as well. But what we're doing right now is we're just modifying the parking brake handle. So we've already cut off part of the spring. Now we're just going to cut off this tab here so that it'll lay flat, hook up our new cables, run them through, and then connect them to the calipers, and then that part will be done. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to basically doing like a simple street setup. So basically the idea of this notch is that it's not really going to be like a drag racing type setup or a car like that. And I mean, I don't know about where all you guys are from, but I mean, out here on the West Coast, racetracks are disappearing like crazy. I mean, we just had Sac International Raceway close, so, you know, I mean, it's pretty much all on the street now. So, but anyway, the point of it is that the setup for this is going to be something that you can enjoy on the street. You know, you get a couple of good lineups, let it go. So we're not going to go too crazy. Basically, we're going to go with the iBox setup, springs, as well as shocks, struts, front and rear sway bar. Because definitely we're not going to have quad shocks, we're going to swap out the rear, upper, and lower control arms. So that we've got some more stability, and I know with the convertible, with Venom's convertible, when we did that whole setup, it launches pretty good. So with a base horse on this engine of about 370, I feel it's probably a fair, you know, setup. If we supercharge it or try to go radical, you know, we can go from mild to wild. It's not a big deal. But I believe that this setup will be miles of smiles on the street. So that's what we're going to go with, and we're bringing you guys along the way, you know, as we set some things up. Right now I'm just cutting off this tab and then, you know, putting it back in and running the parking brake lines. Nothing really exciting, but when we dip into the other stuff, you know, I'll bring you guys back and we'll start doing all of the suspension. So, by the way, the idea of this channel, I've been a Fox Body guy, I would say, since, just as like a you know, quick off-topic thing. Man, my first car at 16 was an 86 GT, and I've kind of been in love with them ever since. So have I messed around with them my whole life? No. Periodically throughout my life, absolutely. Now, you know, being, you know, at the age that I'm at, you know, I just mess with them a whole lot more than what I used to when I was younger. And yeah, it's just kind of the way life goes. And now the fun part is I'm building them, and I'm building them for really cool people, and I love that too. So the purpose of the channel, and I had to put a lot of thought into, you know, into the purpose of the channel. And I'll be honest with you, I believe that there are some phenomenal channels out there for Fox Body platforms. I follow a few myself and support a few as well. And I decided to make this channel to show people that you can learn from guys like Brutal. You can learn from Neo and a bunch of other guys. Infamous Project. I mean, the list goes, Caleb. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, these are guys that have put their heart and soul into creating content for you guys to learn on. And so what I'm going to do with this channel is show you that, and I mean, we're going on the honor theory. I'm telling you, I am not a mechanic, and I never have been my entire life. You know, I've always been in business, and as many of you know, I've been a driver for race teams, and I still do it, as well as being a driver coach for guys, and I'll be up at the track even tomorrow. But this is a passion, and so what I want to get across to you guys is that I follow these guys on this channel, and their stuff works, you know, and depending on who you want to follow, you can learn how to go from mild to wild, you know, and what setups work and what don't, you know, what questions, you know, commonly come up. And so I'm going to show you that, you know, we can build cars based off of what you learn from all of the time and dedication that these guys have spent into building their channels. This is just validation and proof that, yeah, you can do it. And we're doing it right now. Have I ever taken on a rolling chassis with literally nothing in it? No. I guarantee you, I have never done it. I've always had, you know, at least a running platform to work with. So this is evidence that it can be done. As well as, you know, when we start digging into the 90 LX that's going to be the Dutch Mustang, you guys are going to see, have I ever done skirts before? No. Have I ever done body work before? Nope. I've paid people to do it, y'all. I've never done it myself. I have always had, you know, really solid, reliable guys to do stuff. But in creating the channel, I want you guys to know that if I can do it based on what I learned from these guys, you guys can do it too. But are there going to be days that are tough? Yep, I'll tell you right now there are. Is there going to be times you want to give up? Hell yes, there are. Are there going to be days where you're just not feeling it? Yeah. Actually, if many of you follow Brutal, he just took us to church the other day over it, and he's absolutely right. You've got to get off your ass and just go do it. And there ain't nothing to it but to do it. You got to do it. And even if you accomplish a little thing, at the end of the day, because you did it yourself, you're gonna have a sense of gratitude. Like you'll be gratified. I'm telling you, you will. When I got finished messing with the drums and getting all that out and getting the axles out and switching it to discs, man, I'll tell you what. When I went in and crashed that night, I felt like I was on top of the world because I did it myself. Had I done it before? No. When I picked up Venom in Texas, it already had 4-wheel disc brakes. I didn't have to do it, but I did it now. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. You just have to go step by step. That's what it takes. At some point today, our Cobra fronts are going to show up, and we're going to be putting those on too. But we've already got the SN95 spindles on, so that's pretty easy, you guys. But I'll film it for you anyway. We'll film it. We'll do it. You know, we'll do it together, and and then we'll, learn from it, make comments. There's always ways to make things better. But the purpose of the channel is that I know, and you guys know, that, Brutal's been around Mustangs his whole life. Neo, oh my God, how long has he been messing with Mustangs? A long time. But I haven't. So this should show you guys that their channels can help you do what you got to do. And the only limitations you've got are in your mind. Fear is nothing more than false expectations that appear real. You just got to give it a try. And you know what? I've learned from messing up. You guys will too. But there's never a catastrophe. Everything always works out just fine. You just got to do it. Anyway, let me get this thing put back in because, kind of boring. Nothing really worth filming. Get it done, and then I'll bring you guys back when we're moving on to the next thing. In the meantime, I need to go grab a tool over here.